If you have a short attention span, this video is not going to be for you. But if you're somebody who is serious about really changing and transforming yourself, you want to keep on watching. What I'm going to share with you is a training that I did for my clients earlier on today. I usually don't share these, but I think this is going to be very powerful and it's going to help many of you change your life. So stay tuned and enjoy. My clients, happy Monday. Now today on this Mindset Monday, I want to talk about transformation, becoming the best version of yourself, because this is what we all seek to do. All right, sure, we say we want to lose belly fat, tone up, lose weight, but really we're trying to feel better about ourselves. So for me to really talk about this, we need to talk about the place of being unhappy with yourself. And to do this, I want to talk a little bit about my own journey of transformation. So, let's go back to maybe 11, 12 years ago. Your coach was, I was a mess. I was drinking minimum 4 times a week. And I don't mean like, a glass of wine, a beer here and there. I was drinking entire bottles of Jack Daniels, Bacardi, whatever you gave me, I was getting plastered. And on top of that, I was taking, whatever drug you want to throw at me, I would take it. I was popping ecstasy, Xanax, Oxycontin, drinking, it was so bad. I remember there was this day where I had ran out of ecstasy. I woke up early in the morning and, when the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes even Monday, I would just do my drugs. And then I would also drink throughout the week. I would drink. But anyway, I think it was a Sunday. Woke up and, I wanted to escape reality, right? Because that's what these things are doing, because we're not satisfied with what's going on. And I didn't have any of the illegal drugs. So I was like, what else can I do to get high, to have my escape? So I found out that like cough syrup could do it. Not like, not pain reliever, just regular cough syrup. So, I went to Rite Aid, bought just cough syrup, not the kind that helps with congestion. And I drank a bottle of this stuff. Just to give you an idea of the place I was in, cough syrup. By the way, it is one of the, not that you want to get high, that's one of the worst ones you can ever do. And I knew this, but I still wanted to escape. So this is where I was at. I was unsatisfied with my reality and myself so much that I was finding these different ways of escaping. Easy ways of escaping, right? Because it doesn't really take any work to do that, right? To get drunk, to take these drugs. You have to buy them. But outside of that, you don't have to dig deep to have that shift in how you feel about yourself. And that's what I was doing. So fast forward a little bit past this thing. Now we're in a little later, 2011. I worked for Verizon. I'm not the cell phone side of the business, but I was your telephone man. All right, I would run the lines. I was the guy that fixed your phone, internet, all that stuff. So, I had that job. And we went on strike. I believe it was in 2011. And when we came back from strike, they had us basically working a lot of forced overtime, because Verizon used to be a part of Bell Atlantic, part of AT&T. So they legally, could force us to work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day until, meaning, and this is what they were doing. So because of this, I had to do less drugs and I had to drink less. And I started having these panic attacks. I didn't know why. I thought I was losing my mind. I thought I was going crazy, which would have been out the question. I do that type of mental health runs in my family. I have a cousin who's schizophrenic. So, I'm thinking, oh man, am I losing my mind? And, I was doing some research of, what would cause panic attacks, like these bad panic attacks. I felt like I was going to die. And I found out that it's the alcohol. All right, I put the dots together, because I was drinking a lot. And, to work, you had to drink less. It's forced overtime. And that's these panic attacks start coming in. And that's when I truly realized the problem that I had. I was like, crap, I'm an addict. Never viewed myself as one. I thought I was just a rock star. If y'all go through my social media, go on my Facebook, go back to like 2011 back, you'll see pictures of me. passed out, partying, alcohol, just you know. So anyway, I had a choice to make, all right? Since the realization that I'm an addict, I'm going through these panic attacks, that I actually have the power to stop, right? But this is not an easy thing to do. So I had two choices to make the panic attacks stop. I could start drinking some, right? Because the reason why the panic attacks were happening is because my body was craving the alcohol. And that would have been the easy fix. And that's the thing I'd already been doing to change myself, the easier fix. Instead of going out there and doing the work, I would take the drugs, I would drink the alcohol. This may be similar to some of you when it comes to your food, something else that I also struggle with, but I want to highlight the alcohol and drug addiction. But, with like your food, right? You want to feel better about yourself. Stress is going on in life. And deep down that if you became the better version of yourself, right, you would have an easier time dealing with the hardships of life, because when we feel better about ourselves, it makes us more resilient. But instead of doing that and we're stressed, we go for that cookie, right? We eat that pizza. We go off our diet. It's the easier way to feel good in the short term. And this is what that alcohol and the drugs were for me. But look at where it got me. Addict. Going through withdrawal. In 1 month, I had crashed 3 vehicles because I was drunk and passed out the wheel. I remember I was going to pick up an ex-girlfriend of mine. Sea Line Avenue, late at night. I had just got done drinking. I forget if I did drugs that night, but I was definitely drinking. So I went to go pick her up because I would drive drunk. This is what I would do, right? I used to joke about how my autopilot was so good that I could just get around. And I crashed around Sea Line Avenue. Thank goodness I never got a DUI, but maybe I should have gotten one. It would have got me off the road, right? So crashed because I passed out at the wheel. Got a rental car. 2 weeks into having that rental car, passed out at the wheel, crashed it. Got another rental car. I remember it was me, cousin of mine, one of my buddies. Came back from a party. I know for a fact I was popping ecstasy. Guess what your coach did? Crashed at the wheel. Could have killed myself, could have killed my friends, could have killed other people, right? Because I was making these crazy choices. So, just to give you an idea of what was going on. But this was me going for like the quick fix though. Taking the drugs, drinking the alcohol, right? Now, so I had a choice to make. Do I drink this alcohol to stop the panic attacks? Or do I do the harder thing so I don't have another panic attack again because of this? And that was to stop drinking. Now, if anybody is struggling with alcoholism, you should probably just not quit without going through, because depending on how bad it is, panic attacks, all those things, the DTs, they can be bad, so it should be monitored. But me, I didn't do it that way. I said, I'm going to stop. And this was one of the hardest years of my life, because I basically, might have been a month, I was either having a panic attack or constant anxiety. So these were my levels. Anxiety, which is bad, or panic attack. And this was like a month where it was so freaking bad. But I knew that if I wanted to get past that, right, I had to go through these hardships, right? I had to make the tough choice, right? And after that month of freaking bad panic attacks, I then just I dealt with anxiety and irritability. This was every day. I'd be in the supermarket. I would get stuck in repetitive thoughts. It was just a very, very hard year. And during that year, I discovered one of the ways to help get through that is to exercise. Now, I've always exercised, right? I always wanted to change myself. I was never really happy with my body. I wanted to, get a six pack, build muscles. Look, I wanted to get to this place, and I always tried, but I never could do it. So I didn't understand how, right? And during this time period, I really immersed myself into how to change yourself, nutrition, exercise. This is before I had any kind of formal training around it. And so I started exercising, started eating better. This was just to help out with the panic, the anxiety. And I was regimented with it. I was making the harder choice. And what was happening is that as it was helping me cope with the anxiety and the irritability, I started changing my body along with it, right? Month passed, I was down some weight. Another month passed. I was down more weight, right? I started looking good. I started feeling good about what I was seeing. The anxiety was still there, all right? But, some of the other problems started to go away, right? That one with me not liking what I saw in the mirror. And what I discovered, all right, let's fast forward past all that, right? So I built up a nice rhythm of exercise. I made the hard choice of not drinking. I cut out the drugs. And I changed in a couple different ways by making the hard choice. All right. I was now feeling better about myself, right? One, because I looked better, but also two, that when I got rid of those crutches, which was the alcohol and the drugs, it caused me to sit in my reality a lot more, right? It caused me to really do some deep thinking about myself because I didn't have those escapes. And this was one of the best things for me. Now, this wasn't like, there were not a lot of peaks happening with that. All right. There was a lot of baseline to lows, but it was good for me, right? Because I had to do the hard work, and coming out of it, one of the best things for me, right? I was able to change my body. I had learned control, and I learned the value of not going for the quick fix, because let me tell you, doing drugs, it feels pretty darn good. But the anxiety, the panic, the almost killing people that came with it, through like car accidents and all that, almost killing myself, wasn't worth it. All right. Not using those crutches and finding a different type of, not just escaping my reality, but actually changing it. Didn't have like a lot of highs. But now though, I feel good pretty constantly. And to get to this place, you have to make the tough choice. So what does this mean for you? So, we're all struggling with different things, right? Stress in our lives. Maybe some of you have alcohol or drug addictions, but many of us don't feel good about ourselves, and we want to feel better. And what a lot of people are using, all right, are things like, I don't feel good today, so I'm not going to go exercise. All right. It's because in your mind, it's like, okay, I don't feel like exercising. You don't want to do it. It's a harder choice to make. It's easier just to sit down and sulk, or easier to kick your feet up after work. But by doing this, you are keeping yourself stuck in a dissatisfied situation. You don't like where you're at. So if you want to escape it, you have to make a different choice, the harder choice. All right. You've been like, you already know what I'm getting at here. All right, you know what's going to happen if you come home from work and you're tired and you don't exercise. You're going to stay dissatisfied with yourself. So don't make that choice. Make the different choice. Make the harder choice. Exercise. Same thing with your nutrition. All right, something crazy is going on in your life. Stress is high. So because of that, you're going to stress eat. All right. But how do you stress eat, right? By having those foods in your house that are triggers. If there's things like chips and things, whatever it is for you, and they're in your home, and you're going through a time of stress, you are going to eat them. You're not going to willpower your way out of not doing it, at least not easily. All right, so make the hard choice. Throw that food out. All right, it's not that, I don't want you to think that I'm depriving myself. Don't think that. All right, because let me ask you this. So if the opposite of getting rid of those foods is depriving yourself, are you satisfied with where you're at? Are you happy with what you see in the mirror? Are you happy about how you feel about yourself? If the answer to that is no, but you've already been eating the chips, going for the pizza, whatever it is, then you're depriving yourself by choosing those things. Make the tougher choice, all right? Make the harder choice. Become the best version of yourself. These things aren't easy, but things that are great never are, but they are worth it if you do it. So I have a challenge to you all today. Make the tougher choice to change. Don't go for the easier escape of taking the day off, unless you're injured. There are good reasons to take days off, but unless you're injured, right? Something like that. But if that's not the case, you're just a little tired and you're feeling a little fatigued. Push through that. Now, granted, this means maybe you don't go as hard through the workout, right? Your body will adjust what you can do. But get it done. When it comes to the food, prep. It does not take a long time to prep your food. If you know one of your weaknesses is that you're on the go and if you don't have those foods made, you're going to make bad choices. Take time. Let's say it takes an hour. There's 24 of those bad boys in a day. How much time do you spend scrolling on social media? How much time do you spend watching television? Right? How much time, how much free time do you have? I guarantee it's an hour. Prep your food. Make that tougher choice. That way you can move out of the space of being dissatisfied with yourself. That way you can actually transform instead of going for the easy escape. Because let me tell you, of an alcoholic and drug addict can do it. And let me tell you, my clients, y'all are a lot more amazing than me. And I know this because we've spoken. I know what's happening in your lives. I know the incredible things you do, the responsibilities that you take on. You have the potential. It's there. I wouldn't have brought you on if it wasn't there. You have the power. You just have to make the better choice. All right? So let's start this week off. Let's become the best versions of ourselves. You can do it. Happy Monday.